one series where they played against Mouse Sports.
Yeah, that's right.
They must have done pretty well because here they are going up against OG in the final. So obviously they added Cinder. What do you think about this new squad, or rather the
10 seconds remaining.
It looked pretty good yesterday. They had a pretty big comeback against Mouse's Alchemist in the very first game, but they're a team that looks like they have a solid idea of what they want to do in each game, and they have a bunch of these pretty dangerous picks like the Enchantress at their disposal as well. So, you know, this is definitely the team you want to go up against to test how good you really are, right? OG. These guys are not a new team, just run for lever.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they've got their pretty much core squad still here, but they had Resolution.
5 seconds
I think one of the best carry players in terms of Dota 2. Play has done very well so far. OG, they've lost a couple of games here and there. They've had a couple of rough series for sure. They're still finding their footing. About most of these teams, Mineral Feed included, but they will get the Earth Spear more than likely from Jarak, which is going to be very exciting. And the Underlord comes out, which I haven't seen too much of that.
Yeah, the Underlord's actually getting a lot more popular. He's especially good against the way Furion likes to play Dota. Later on in the game, he can kind of counteract the split push aspect by being able to, you know, clear waves in that Reality Rift or Dark Rift. Isn't it called Dark Rift?
Dark Rift, that's it.
Okay, Dark Rift, the taxi move back to lanes, and he can play around the game that way.
Just call it that, the taxi move. That's what it is, essentially. A great move, but I actually, this hero just seems really strong. I haven't seen him that much, but I'm excited to see what he can do in the game. We have a couple more bans coming out. The Monkey King ban, we saw a lot of yesterday. The Alpha ban on the other side from Feed against OG. Not a surprise there. They've been, I think both teams have been experimenting, obviously with Cinder on the squad as well. But what are you expecting next time?
I'm expecting to see something pretty big here. We have both supports and the offlane pick for OG, so their next pick is really going to reveal a lot of what their lineup's all about. And I feel like Mid or Feet kind of just wanted to keep it pretty flexible at the moment. Furion, typically the offlaner, but he can also play in that safe lane role if they do want to play more of an aggressive lane with the support Enchantress, or perhaps even the Corner Enchantress, which, I mean, I never rule it out anymore because sometimes it just happens, and you sit there and wonder how this hero's going to work out, and it just does sometimes because it's just unkillable.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. You have to get some of that, like that burst potential, or Ursa is obviously a very good hero. You can get up on the enchant. And the core role, she's pretty strong. We've seen a lot of teams play her recently in the core role, Ice. But like you talked about the Teenage Prophet, so it kind of makes things a bit muddy for Mid or Feet in terms of what they want to do. But we talked about this hero a lot yesterday. I think I touched on it. But this hero I'm excited to see more of. He's got the best stats in the game. You called him a goalie, and I think that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, definitely has been rising in popularity for sure. This is like the strongest early game 5 hero in the game, right? Nobody fights this guy.
Yeah, he's got everything. He's got all the stats. He's got brain stats to work with. It's hard to trade against him. In fact, almost impossible in certain cases. He can set up for spells like Arrow or Hail if they were to go down that route with Piranha. But we'll see. They're going to keep it pretty flexible. For OG, we already know both supports, Crystal Maiden and Earth Spirit, Underlord, going to be in that core position, probably in the off lane. And now we're just waiting on what they want to play with Resolution and No-Tail. See what's going to be the next choice. Although S4 has been doing some interesting shenanigans as well, so there's a couple of options here.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if they don't pick a safe lane carrier that's strong against the Furion lane naturally, like the Sven, that they could have a potential problem in the safe lane with Nature's Prophet, Bane, and Enchantress, and of course the Enchantress pressure. Alright, so Queen of Pain for the mid lane. Because, so the Furion's already pretty decent against these two support heroes on OG already. They don't have that much kill pressure on him, and they don't really handle the treants very well. So he can kind of take over the lane that way, and then of course with many heroes rotating in, all of a sudden the safe lane does, you know, becomes not so safe.
It is a lot of pressure, it's true. I'm excited how they utilize this enchantment. See if they put it in that support role, but we'll see. They have still plenty of time to think about it. 2 minutes left with the Furion. What are they gonna grab for cancel? These are all questions we still have to have. They actually have so much reserve time. They're actually taking like no time to pick up their heroes. This is like their first time they've actually thought about what they want to grab in terms of 10 or 20 seconds.
Yeah, we have the speed draft going on here.
Which fine with. I'm with having a speed draft. A lot of Dota to get to, so that is fine. Oh, there he is, the Necropos. All right, popular guy. He's been picked a lot. And,
He's looking mighty good here.
Yeah. It seems a little rough for this OG squad. Necro because he'll have to get that Reaper sight out on that way as well. And what are we missing now? Again, we could see that same profit play safe line or something like that with the core Enchantress. But let's just say the Enchantress and Day in our support. What did we grab last year? What did they need?
I imagine they're just going to try to grab a safe laner that's pretty decent against the Underlord. I'm not too sure of what Tomato's carry pool is at the moment because I haven't seen him play carry that much, but heroes like Lifestealer are typically very good against the Underlord, and when you look at their draft, you think, wow, how can they kill this guy? There's no real way to pressure, but of course, there's not really a vehicle on the side of mid or feed, so I guess that's the biggest issue there.
Maybe Nature's Prophet, but even then, it's not that good, I think. But it's still a pretty good game, though, like you mentioned.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game for it. Alright, so OG, we're thinking the safe lane Necro, and they play with the mid carry style hero, the Invoker, and they ban that out. Or mid or feed responds with the PL ban. Okay. Yeah, PL definitely a big problem for them right now with no AV.
Yeah, and the illusion heroes for OG, I mean, it was a pretty common thing. And probably see if that's going to be the case if they go for that kind of cheesy last pick, because they do have fifth pick after something like a CK. But obviously, yesterday we saw Cancel Plebeian played it pretty well as well. Well, I mean, so a good ban for sure, just to get that out of the way here at OG.
Yeah, definitely. So, mid or feed, they do have the option of the safe lane Necro, and they could pick a different hero for the mid lane, but Queen of Pain, Earth Spirit, it's pretty difficult to put a carry there for the most part, unless you want to just straight up dual lane with the Bane. They do have options for sure, but I feel like the most optimal setup would just be to pick a safe laner that's pretty decent against the Underlord. And I guess they banned out a bunch of things. Viper, okay.
So they are going to go get Viper.
Alright, Viper, that's a tough hero for Queen of Pain and Earth Spirit to really kill, especially if there's any help at all.
Man, this fifth pick I feel like is going to have to come together for OG, because right now the draft's looking pretty good for OG,
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say that, OG did have some options if they really wanted to switch their lanes around. They could go for like the safe lane Underlord against the Furion, and then they could kind of bring out the pseudo aggro tri-lane with the Queen of Pain just to free up their lanes and give Underlord a good matchup, and perhaps pick one of these dangerous last pick heroes like the Alchemist, but of course, Interfeeder no slackers, they banned that out earlier in the draft.
Yeah, they banned it out second phase. That's smart too.
I guess this looks. I mean, Sven is like the best laning hero against the Furion they could pick.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so we mentioned a bit earlier that they did lack in the AoE department.
Yeah, this is one of those heroes that can really take advantage of it when he gets his Phantasm levels. Very strong, can set up some stuff early game, help your supports out. You have the Chaos Bolt, you have the Reality Rift. I'm a fan of this hero, but I still think, even though there's not that much AoE damage here, rather damage to deal with the AoE from the feed, this is still a pretty good draft for him overall.
Yeah, definitely. I like the CK pick was pretty nice. CK doesn't handle the Furion treants very well in lane, but he is very good at killing Furion. He's got high movement speed, and he can always initiate to start the fight first. And it sets up the Earth Spirit just to roll in and help secure the kill on that guy. So, pretty nice. It's one of these lanes that doesn't really deal with the trees very well, of course, but it kills Furion over and over, which is always nice.
How do you feel about the lack of push, or maybe the push potential between Midfield or NOG? It seems like Midfield kind of has an advantage in that.
Yeah, definitely. They have the mobility aspect as well with the Enchantress, who can just pretty much run freely anywhere, but it's harder for this Ench to run into the safe lane now, especially against that Crystal Maiden. You can always just freeze up the creep, and then she loses a lot of pressure in that lane. However, if they do bring the Bane, that could be a very, very dead Crystal Maiden if she chooses to frostbite the Enchantress creep. Midfields lineup does have the mobility, and their grouping up early in the game is obviously very, very strong, but depends on how strong Furion start is in the game, because if he doesn't get off to a pretty decent start, we could just see him not have the same early game effect that we see most Furions have.
Alright, let's see what happens here. Yay. My hotkeys. Alright, we're in. We in there. Hotkeys have been not set up, actually. I think I screwed it up again.
Nice.
Dude, I'm actually, I don't know what's happening. I did back SA instead of
You're off to a great start.
Yeah, today's going to be a fun day, Rex. We got a lot of best of threes to get through. And this one, again, this might be the hypest one in terms of winners finals, OG versus middle feed. They don't have an icon for middle feed. They have no picture on their the top right corner.
What's wrong with them?
No banner. Come on, man. Get it together.
These guys are looking like amateurs.
30 seconds to battle.
We'll see how it goes. This is sort of this pretty new roster going up against the old standby of OG, one of the best teams of all time in terms of amount of majors they've won the past 2 years. They've been absolutely incredible. I don't really speak about them too much. I think everybody understands how good OG is.
Yeah, everyone knows OG, right?
Yeah, I mean, and with Resolution arguably be a better team than we've had previously. We'll see. They can easily take this serious.
Yeah, but OG's actually going for the aggro late here, so the Underworld Furion matchup is pretty good for the Underworld.
Bounty rune no-tell. So 3 bounty runes. Cancel is the only one that gets it. The Viper, quite the Viper player himself. We'll see what he builds into. Starting with a Wraith Band, Buried Fire. He kind of misses his block. That's the problem with Viper. Really slow. Has a hard time getting to his block. Whereas Resolution, he got some help from Jerax, and he's going to have a pretty good block. Look at where Resolution's lane is getting here compared to Cancel. Pretty good stuff. Although it might push quicker because he can't block the last. We'll see. Swing and a miss. Jerax is trying to apply the pressure on the Cancel, and before boots, Viper can be kind of slow, so it's a good time to do it.
Yeah, definitely very good though. Apply the pressure there, and that missed block actually. This is when it hurts the most to me of Earth Spirit. He's constantly rolling on you, harassing you.
Oh, missed again. Almost could have gotten the courier. Shadow Strike will come out. No points to Corrosive Skin yet, but here comes Weehaw on the Enchantress. Sal taking off immediately. All right. That's not
And
great.
in comes the Shockwave Creep to win the mid lane, right?
Where's the Ogre Frost? All right, that meme's gonna get a bit old probably. Realize. All right, Motto and Surrender, and they're gonna go ahead and No-Tail will be alone for now, but they have some help coming in from Fly as well as Jared getting back to that top lane. Chaos Bolt will go, 2 seconds stun. No-Tail's got the other. He'll use it. Can they get the rolling bolt? They're gonna go for it. Looks like Sinner might get away. Deathbolt's coming in. He's got brain sap, so I don't think Sinner is in any real trouble here. So he's gonna back up the line. Looks like and Sal as well.
I'm just making No-Tail use a nice big chunk of mana, but now we do have the Trialent up here. And actually, this might be still number 1.
Wow, this is a deep dive. Deathbolt's coming in. They had the rolling boulder. He might still fall here. Jenkins coming in. Looks like they can't get the kill. Now No-Tail taking the tower hits. Needs to be careful. He's going to salve up though, and Cinder's going to look for it, but he's going to find that he's back at full health. No-Tail's actually just going to walk right around and shoot Cinder through the tree line. No-Tail should be fine, although Tomato's getting low again. Still has the tangos rolling, but No-Tail should get out and even get the bounty forward as well. Resolution getting harassed heavily by Cancel. This is where it's rough. He's going to damage.
Down bottom, Weehaw's wrapping around the Underlord here with the Centaur. They might actually... They can...
Oh, now they can.
Centaur's not missed.
Yeah, it was close. Good try there from Weehaw. He rotated all the way down bottom.
Yeah, S4 is really tanky, but they do have some kill potential here if they're able to block the Lord is very strong.
And for your level 2 Rain of Fire. Firestorm, sorry, not Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire is Firestorm, yeah. Shadow Strike, good push back. Might be in trouble. Resolution's pretty low. Very far to come out. We'll try to turn on Resolution. Good. Used to the fog. He's going to blink away. Will he die? He will. The boy gets the job done. But it is going to be the trade for Resolution getting the first blood there. Pretty good stuff from Rotating. Meanwhile, rotating in. That's going to be Weehaw. Maybe goes for Jerax. Looks like it's not going to be. That's that hit. I'm not sure. Dan's coming in. But full auto tech is Auto. X God.
That's right, the X-God himself. I don't want to. Alright, so that's sometimes that happens if you gank this Viper hero, right? He's so strong and beefy. He may be slow, but he kind of just mans up on you sometimes and kills you.
It's tough. I mean, this is before he has like max corrosive skin. That's when it really gets scary. But good jump. I think good jump from Jerax to get the kill. You want to try to bring this guy down as many times as possible. Oh, those abilities, those corrosive skin levels.
Yeah, but this matchup is so difficult already, even after cancel die, he just comes back and asserts his dominance. There's 3 heroes mid lane though. Even No-Till's making a smoke rotation here.
Here, go for the rolling boulder, and he's going to find it. Cancel back up wisely. He can still try to go on these heroes. They have the veteran back along with a 1 second stun. Line isn't available, not 5 minutes yet. He might be able to deny himself. He'll try to go into on resolution to get the kill, but I don't think he'll be able to do so. He does get low with the corrosive skin with resolution 5. And no people find yet another pick here on the fight.
Yep, definitely. Much needed. I mean, Viper's on top of the CS strong more than double, Kane's CS right now, but that does mean OG can ban at this top lane. And right now, CK is in such an awkward spot where he's kind of just roaming around. He's got no runes, rush the bottle, picking up bounty runes, kind of playing that sacrificial role here to empower his team. And both supports and OG are just playing together. And when the supports with this lane setup, actually, it kind of limits where champions can go, right? The best possible thing Edge can do is just harass. He can't really go for these kills against the crystal mid lane, and we see that mid lane is just a tornado, running resolution down. I mean, does it get more disgusting than this, right? Viper in your face with a tornado.
That's pretty rough. Meanwhile, he's been down, rolling boulder in, they're going to get the kill. They have the frostbite along with the fire smoke coming in. It's more than enough to get the kill. So even though Weehaw is applying pressure mid lane, he will still go down. And like you mentioned, he just doesn't have any options. Second stun on Tomato is going to be enough. 1 or 2 more auto attacks, but he's going to bottle up. It's going to be close, and he will narrowly live 8-5 HP, 3 HP after the Orb of Venom takes down. That was super close.
So close to taking down the hard stop there too.
That was, oh my god, I can't believe he lived.
Yeah. So essentially we have a sacked CK at this point, but he's going to shrine up and now he's coming in for the mid gank yet again.
Rotating, No-Tail Legacy involved in his hands. He involved yet again. An illusion rune bottom, unfortunately, so they don't find a rune top rune spot. There is a lot of dire vision, though. They see Drax perfectly. So Cancel, he knows he's pretty safe right now. This war's pretty great, actually. It's done a lot of work for Cancel the past.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So we've been talking a lot about the Viper mod, and Viper is doing his own thing. Even though he's been getting twice, he's got 2 deaths, he's still destroying the mid lane right now.
Yeah.
They're actually going in mid lane. They forced the point count, and they're going to catch up.
Oh yeah, she's coming through. Nature tries to fly. Auto attack will do it, and she will hit drop by physical. She comes back up. And now the tower, and this is where the pressure comes from. Good start from her.
Yeah, the heroes on mid are so quick to mobilize and just make plays together. This is the big opening, right? It's pretty difficult for them to push into this Underlord in the bottom lane. He's extremely tanky with the PMS Firestorm. Also does that. And for the most part, there hasn't been a hero top. No-Tail is still feeling there.
Hammered again. No Reaper's available. He is pretty close. It's 1 second stun Realtor to try to get away. There's the Reaper's but he just got 6, and they will get the kill. That is huge. Tomato. Can he, whatever.
It's a bit of a struggle here for OG in the late phase right now. S4 is having a wonderful time. He's like, oh my god, I'm finally getting some farm pride over here in the safe lane. But this offlane is a complete dead zone for OG right now. Nobody can really go over.
They've already got a 3% which means the push will commence, and you don't really have a farm hero other than S4. So how worried are you for OG? Can they get back to this game? Stand flop?
Definitely can, especially once they get some levels and have their abilities online, but you know, S4's hero is fantastic at forwarding the push here. Back this way with the Firestorm.
He just comes down. He's going to have a Hood of Defiance soon as well. Resolution finally gets some time to farm mid because, of course, the Viper was elsewhere. In fact, they're going to TP bottom with the Viper in bottom to try to apply some pressure now that Mr. Underwood is gone. So No-Tail might need to be careful here.
Very nice. They milk the TP top, so of course they're just going to the opposite side of the map here. And well, Dota, there's only 4 men at this stage of the game. There's not any hero or hero who wants to stand in front of him. They all threaten him right now.
I mean, he had to go bottle just to stand at the top, and even then, he's only able to stick. So, I mean, at this point for No-Tail, it's rough. He's going to need to get those levels back in the team. Meanwhile, Derek's rolling in mid, and Nightmare will come through. They have no emphasis in big changes. There's no more resolutions against Viper Strike coming. Jerax gets blown away, tries to go for the TP, but the Viper TP's in perfectly to cancel. And that will be a nice pickup there. And they got the tier 1 tower bottom too.
Nicely done indeed. Alright, so how do OG actually make a move in this game? Because right now we can see mid or feed, they're just grouping up, pressuring these towers on the sidelines. They've already taken 2 tier 1s, pre-10 minutes. And right now the only strong hero OG it looks like is the Underlord. Because I'm just going to go to Defiance, very tanky.
Bottom's going the same thing actually. So S4, yeah, I mean, maybe he's the catalyst for some of these fights. Back, they got the courage too, I didn't even notice that. They did take down. And Shen coming in onto the siege train, but it might get dropped. S4, they don't need him, instead fly. They'll even keep Kazu, they don't need him. They'll continue to chase after S4. He does have the dark rim, and again, very tanky. So now they can focus on that. Kazu going bolder for Jarex, but no boulders going to follow through. And he should be fine. Looks like he'll just dodge into the trees and get out of there. He already has his drum in back. Speedier than you might expect.
Yeah, he's a race car right now. And, you know, a lot of the times when we see Necro, he comes out so early in the draft that he's playing against a bunch of counters, like Nexus Assassin or Ancient Apparition. This game, there's not really anything. It's very good.
Oh, S4 killing him with a huge good sprout had to cancel his the kill, and now the tier 1 is going to be taken down. That's the big throw on OG, getting a crush in mid or feed, continue to take tower after tower, checking everything.
They've got the double siege wagon with the Trans just running it down the top lane. It's a good match. If Underlord is dead, there's absolutely nothing.
That 3 seconds rumble go, they'll have to time for resolution, albeit just a very small amount of time as he tries to get the Veil. No Veil will pick up Treads very soon as well. But even so, as full will be back in, a bit of a dangerous TP. Cancel come up with a long attack, straight back to that. Good Firestorm. The tower is still a little while to take down. In fact, it might get denied. They're going to deny range. They're going to just leave. They'll try to see out Cinder and Nightmare. Not too much smarter here. He's going to go for the TP. It's going to be close. Boss play comes down, and he won't back in one fall. Takes some time, but they will end up taking him down. Great step, and he's actually staying alive forever. Space created. In the meantime, they will get another throw out. I think TP owns Tomato as well. So again, they only lose that stage. And they, of course, don't win the tower kick. It got denied.
Yeah. Actually, no, he missed
it. It died. It died. I thought it got denied. Oh my god. Actually, the Dire got it. Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, OG finally makes something happen. They kill the poor Cinder and Bane, but look at these wards coming out from mid or feed right now. I mean, they see everything that's going to actually the Dark Rift into the bottom lane. Okay, that's a nice play here. Might be able to catch someone off guard, but
be huge. Weehaw, not the biggest target. It's alright, they're just backing. They know something's up. They know they're not top anymore. And they know
Alright, so that's a little anticlimactic here, unfortunately. You know, they come right into the creep blue here. Hey guys, we're all here.
Oh, you all left.
But yeah, with the Dark Rifts later on in the game, they can deal with this split push coming out from the Furion, so it'll be good for that. And it's still it's a 5k gold swing here.
It's not great for OG. Again, if you can outlast this early game here from it'll be maybe it feels like the pressure continues to mount here on them, and there's just more items coming for their feed. They've got a 4-staff up on Viper, they have a bunch of Defiance up on Tomato, drums in fact, and an Orchid being built on Hezu as well. So these big items are coming out, right?
Yeah, they are. I just don't see how they're going to be able to deal with these tanky heroes right now. You have the Viper picked up his 4-staff, so he's got some ability down bottom actually. We should have gone from the document.
Yeah, Magnus down, good kill. As we keep being in, TP from Jerax. They've got, Cinder was mid animation for the feed script, but he couldn't quite get it onto Jerax. So they won't find anyone to get that trade, and Weehaw will fall. Nice little pick there from OG.
You know, that's why people hate Bane right there. They come in, try to cast a spell, and it just doesn't work out. It takes so long.
So is the enemy? Is Nightmare?
The cast rate for Fiend's Group is a tiny bit farther. I'm not sure if it makes sense.
That would make sense then, yeah. It was a good effort, but couldn't quite find it.
Yeah. So OG, I mean, they got a nice pick off, but they're still kind of on the back foot here. This is where it becomes really difficult for them to farm, right? Because these cores like the Viper, Untouchable, if you happen to commit extremely hard for this, Nitterfeed can easily respond. They can TP it very important as well. And there's a good chance that the fight's not going to go so well unless they're able to burst this guy, which looks quite unlikely for now. And Necrolite, same thing. I mean, he's got the hood. If you don't burst this guy instantly, he's going to Ghost Shroud and pop the Death Pulse and the Magic Wand, so.
Not to mention the force staff pretty soon. Yeah, very good. Bottom lane, they're setting up maybe Jirex. Set up on. No rolling boulder out in the way. It looks like they just missed him. They'll make it away. Alright. This is actually Resolution and No-Tell starting to get some farm. 4K was 5K, almost 6K, but it's back to 4K towards advantage here for Resolution. So things are starting to go a little better. But we'll see when Middle Creek decide to make their next move.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
There's 3 heroes top. He needs some help here. They're going to see bottom. He needs help from bottom.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
Cinnamron's going to walk right in. He needs to be careful. There are 3 heroes here. Dark Rift coming in. Bean Script's going to come out. They should be able to bring him out. Yeah.
Taxi service saves everyone on the OG squad.
Considering that was a bit ambitious, but I understand what you were going for, buddy. It happens.
Yep, so, OG, even though they didn't have the best early game, they're coming back. They're making plays here. They took that tier 1 tower, make it out with everyone's life as well. And the pace of the game has kind of slowed down a bit here from Nitterfeed.
I thought that was a fresh rock, but they've just been kind of farming here, perhaps. Like it's been
they've been
pushed down a little bit.
A little bit, and they're also picking up their core items here. We have some tanky items coming up. We got the hood, pipe, hood, and force staff. Viper's taking them too. And, Fury can actually pull through his order. Just put him down in, I'll just put him by him. Perhaps just switching it up.
I can see that working out for him. Yeah, the game's like a fresh item. There is the Midas, by the way, from CK, so No-Tail knows. He's behind already, and he's going to stay behind, but if this Midas works out, he can easily get like
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, for sure. That's his ticket back into the game, so just wanted him to pick that up, of course. So the thing I feel like Nitterfeed are struggling with right now is their ward game. When you look at their wards, they pretty much have these defensive wards on their side of the map, and that's after they've taken all the tier 1s. As when you look at OG, right, you have a ward in their jungle at the top value room, and then you have this other one where Resolution was here standing right now. They had one at that corner right here, scouting out the lanes. They've been using these wards
Force staff, that might be a problem. Bowler's matching. Here they go with the CP there. Actually, to come through. They'll secure the kill. A good attempt coming up from OG. Good news is they only move there for. They try to make a play, and they force the rotation spot.
That's the key right there, forcing the rotations. I'm sure he knew he wasn't going to be able to get the kill, especially with the hood and the force staff on the Necrolite here, but they're making plays of their own. They're running up to Keizu.
They have lockdown. The Mouse will come through. They have the frostbite. He's going to go for He's Fly going to get there in time. It's going to be close. He will just miss it. Fly was so close, and Kezu makes it away. Oh my God, and that was the play they tried to make, and it almost worked out. Would have been great if they got that kill.
Yeah, nice to look at Wee in the bottom lane. He's got 2 pets here, 2 siege creeps.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they're coming down to the bottom tower.
Where's the 3rd siege creep? He needs it. That's kind of the new even. Talked about it yesterday. It's pretty good. Look at this tower.
Defending your tower.
Yeah, this thing is dead, man. It's just gonna die. That was before Treants. That's what we're coming with the Firestorm. We call it Treants Micro. Leave it there.
Like a Bronze League StarCraft player right now.
Yeah. That's me. Actually, I was. You know what? I'm not gonna brag about my StarCraft. I void raid every game. I was a cheese player.
I was also a cheese player. I couldn't play the macro game, so I'd rush, and if I lost,
Dude, it's always so gratifying. People get so upset. I did some cannon rushes occasionally when I played Protoss, and they're just like, congrats, you can build cannons. Thanks. And then, yeah, it's just great. It's just great. I love StarCraft.
It's like a satisfying win, and if I don't win, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I didn't expect to win. The fact that I did.
Exactly. Nitterfeed here. This is how they accelerate the game. There's the medallion for Roshan.
Yeah. It's the classic DD into Roche.
Yeah, definitely. And, so yeah, I was talking about their ward game, and now they finally get a nice deep ward down into OG's jungle. And these are the wards they need to kind of just step up these tier 2 towns. And, they're obviously able to make a move down bottom because they committed so many heroes into the top lane, trying to make that play there. I mean, the piece of the game for mid or feed is looking pretty good right now. It is only a 4K gold swing after having like a 6K lead, so OG are starting to bring it back at the farm department. But when you look at map control, I mean, that's a bigger feed all the way, right? They have this Furia, still pushing the side lanes, handling these other heroes in the back, but they just run around as four, putting down lanes together. So looks good for them.
As my feet trouble here, they're going to try to push into this best four. Looking for good amounts. Now we're getting themselves this meantime resolution continues to farm top lane, so they're actually taking that. Well, here we go, Dark Rift coming in. They need to kill us four, and I don't think there's any way they can do it. He's gone. No kill will stay right with him. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to find Sintran. Resolution and Jared can find a kill. This time it works.
Nice though. I mean, you can see OG's experience coming in right now. You see how many heroes they commit bottom lane to just hit that tower safely. They know they can always get out with the taxi service of the Underlord. And Queen of Pain and Earth Spirit, they're just playing together on this side of the map, and they can kill any threats. These wards are still, I mean, the one game on OG is still, it feels much more superior than mid feeds, and I feel like they have an easier time doing these things, especially when they have so much pressure on the map.
I mean, this top lane has just been pushed for the past 5 or 10 minutes here for OG, and there's just been no mid or feed in order to push it back out and try to get somebody going mid or elsewhere. So it's kind of tough at this point for feed, even with the agents.
Yeah, but it feels like they are having an issue with these lanes right now.
Double roll, or some. We all thought about it. Double ensnare would be sick against the Quap. Now cancels up here, and maybe they can make something happen. Ward placed down in the lane, so resolution has to be sufficient. In fact, he's just going to keep you away. And so everybody's at the top for mid or feed. It feels like this Aegis isn't really accomplishing anything for mid or feed right now.
Yeah, they're struggling to get these lanes out safely because look at the way OG play, right? They always have somebody back at another hero, so they have kill potential on these side lanes. Earth Spirit is playing with Queen of Pain for most of this game now, and then Underlord's just been left to his own devices. And they made a nice play there, actually, where they kind of bluffed, came up to that tier 1 tower, made it look like they're really pushing this, heroes off the map, and then they just Dark Rift out, force a ton of rotations from mid or feed. And they're slowing this game down big time.
Yeah, for sure. Looking a bit tough here for mid or feed, even though they had a pretty good advantage in the early game. They could not find any way to these tier 2 towers rather than the last one. We'll see if that continues on. Aegis is going to be down in another 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And in the meantime, OG are going to try to take the Tomato down. They might be able to. See if we can get a Tomato, they could go for now. They're going to Dark Rift first, like now. Go for play. Jump in, resolution. They can't get Tomato, he's too tanky, and they just Dark Rift away. Siege Creep will do the job, although it is denied by Tomato. Again, still the tower is taken.
Yeah, definitely. I don't mean to make it sound like, you know, mid or feed are getting outskilled or anything. Their lane game is extremely good in their tri-core lineup, but they're losing their lead that they had on the game, right? These heroes are farming on bottom and like resolution are actually blazing.
He jumped in. He stripped there. There's more there as well. Essentially just dropped down. He's mega dead, and finally they'll get something going for mid or feed.
Definitely, that big kill right there could probably spiral them to another tier 2 tower, especially in the mid lane. Man, unlucky. He did not expect there to be a sentry or a main just sitting in the trees waiting for him there.
Yeah. Unfortunate stuff, but he will be dropped for 30 seconds. This should lead into a tier 2 push, and probably a tier 2 tower take required to down. What do you expect to?
Unfortunately, there is no double siege creep in this tower, but of course they have enough power to take this tower. No tail up top, it's a couple of minutes.
And they have double snare. They're going to find in reality right now. Thinking he would go with the grapple come. He doesn't have the throwing blade anymore. In fact, he's dead. In the meantime, Fly doesn't deny off the tower, which is pretty insane to see him.
Casual deny.
Alright, can't take the high ground here.
I feel like they can't, right? This Underlord hero is just gonna clear out the creeper really quickly. It's really hard to walk up into that choke. Up top, resolution completely aggressively.
Fly also pretty far up. Script's still not available, I believe. Not for another 65 seconds. And yeah, like you mentioned, it's going to be tough pushing into this Underlord. So they'll have to maybe make a different decision as to what to do next. There's no roach to take, so I can just sit back and farm.
They definitely need picks, right? Look at their wards that they have. One of mid or feed's wards in the the radiant jungle, expired, and OG's aware that this ward is online as well, so probably play around the counter right now.
And there, they have feed script ready. They need another hero in here to try to break out S4. They have the feed script coming. Cancel is on the way as well. They need more damage. Cancel finally Christmas there is going to be that type of motto, and that is the biggest possible kill they could have gotten. 70 seconds without your Underlord, and now I think you're going to beat them without easy.
They definitely like to look at these lanes right now. OG's pushing in the top lane, pushing in the mid lane. It's going to take them quite a bit of time to actually make it to the space right now. So I don't feel like they have enough time to actually take or hit a tier 3 for very long.
Yeah. So even when they lose a hero there, they won't lose too much. Meantime, Resolution getting into off, looking to turn. There's the Shadow Strike. He wants the Hellbear Smasher, the Tomato instead. He won't find it. It will stay alive. They also popped Phantasm from OG just to try to cut the wave, it looks like. And they're doing a pretty good job of it. Look at this. Look at this illusion just going to work. My God. No tip. Crazy.
But yeah, the game on mid or feet, I think it's actually better. Especially against Necromancer, some radiance, when they're taking items like the Shield Guard to just stop himself from getting hurt.
He's in a good spot for sure. What else are they building? They still haven't built that. No, they have the Orca now, actually, pretty good about it. And they're next. They want to give it to Ed.
Cancel has Maelstrom as well too to help deal with some of these illusions and push out the wave back. Working on the BKB, and I can't imagine Viper dying once he gets BKB. I already can't see Necro dying at all this game. Probably not for a long time unless he gets caught out heavily.
It's really tough. With the amount of damage No Tail's moving out right now, it's just not enough. Even Resolution as well with Veil. They just need more items, I think.
Yeah, but these poor OG are so good at delaying the game, right? Queen of Pink and safe lane still push the top lane pretty much forever. An extremely difficult kill for them. And this ward in the mid lane essentially does the exact same thing. No tail went for the he got illusion rune, but he's going for the Manta, so he can help split push some of these lanes. And just add some of these spells. The Atos, of course.
There's a couple Atos in this game, actually. One on S4, one on Tomato. It's a good item. We of course, to go back top. All the way to push. Kim is finally up, so maybe these boards are going to be taken down a bit easier here. Because we'll come in and try to check around and see what we can find. The board actually in that top lane just died, so actually I just saw it.
Yep, definitely just saw it. Alright, so yeah, gems picked up. Now they can perhaps try to take back some map control here. I mean, this is their game, right? This is what they have won events off. And they're smoked up in the mid lane here. Looking at Tomato, but he's so tanky, I don't think they want to.
Weehaw is the better option if we can get him. They'll drop a ward down. It was perhaps a little bit late. They couldn't quite jump in anyway. Hezu, if he gets gem, or rather the ward he did, nice. So that ward they just placed down. Top lane, OG are going to try to pressure this tier 2 tower. Be careful. See what movement the speed makes.
Mid or feet, they're just here in the mid lane right now. They don't care about this top tier 2 tower. Don't they just use the attack the Phantasm.
Which is very interesting. It makes things a lot more interesting instead of the bottom now. I think they're ready. Cancel. The rest of the crew are saying, you know what, it's time, let's go. We might have to deal with Firestorm, it's going to be annoying. Maybe not. I guess we'll not be not up here. TP's Resolution needs to be careful. They need some lockdown. Like it's true, they've got the Orca. The Orca is coming, they need more lockdown. Rickles is available, and he actually won't get it off in time. They need more vision. They won't find it. Resolution, that link he just purchased it. Instead of going bottom, middle team, they try for kill tap, which would have been good. They couldn't get it.
Yep, unfortunately, unable to snag that one, but nice move from Resolution there. The aggressive play is beating out the TPs here for mid or feed. And like I said, Queen of Pain is so slippery for these units, so linkage here and the duels has been completed. Good luck killing the But so something they can do against the Firestorm D-push is they can bait it out in the mid lane, and then they can run down like to the bottom lane, for example, and then summon trees to just get some chip damage off of the tower. But of course, it is a tedious process, and they can only get so much damage. You know, they don't always depend on that. They went for the Queen of Pain kill, which of course they didn't get. But if they did manage to get that, perhaps we could see them get spiked.
Yeah, I think we had 5 actually just wanted to hit here, so it might not have been a bad idea. It's easy for us to say, oh, this happened or that happened, but obviously we have we're on an issue.
That's right.
What I do want to ask, Ben, we talked about the poison attack flexibility for Viper. Is this the amount they need to get things a bit or push it along here for better speed?
I feel like
Hit a balance. Sonic Wave on it too. They're going to lose one at the very least. The pipe field, and OG, they'll finally have their first good fight, although they've lost Derek. Ace's coming in on the other side. The Orchid will be too little too late to help Kansas behind. Now the Dark Rift coming through, and that will keep them alive just fine. So 2 quick kills. They get out, obviously, to get both supports, but it's still a trade. It's still a good trade in favor of OG.
Yeah, definitely. They're making plays and they're moving around the map much better than other people right now. That's especially thanks to the Uncoord here. They can take these engagements that perhaps they might not win out in the long run, but of course he can beat anytime he wants.
He's done that numerous times. Now they're looking for a huge target to cancel. He just brought his fielder. He's in a lot of trouble. He's got to now the Phantasm coming in and he's getting blown away. He's going to go down and it looks like they've got the Firestorm and he dies pretty much instantly. Phantasm is used, but that is a huge kill. Dead for 65 and all of a sudden OG, they're the ones in control here, Brad.
Yeah, definitely. Look at this ward place from OG here on top of the Bitterfeet Shrine up on the high ground there. You have to break the place on the ward, but this ward is not what it's likely to be dealing by that jet.
Helping out a lot. So the Tier 2 tower finally, they've been threatening that Tier 2 for the past 20 minutes or so. And with it, they can maybe think about taking Roshi. It's up, cancels dead for 46, no buyback. However, it'll be tough. Just yet. No tail. We'll see if they will go for it.
Yeah, I feel like OG don't want to break their split push up on the map. Jared is pushing in the bottom lane. S4 was pushing in the top lane. They just know that they just want to push these lanes and then play off it like that. Once they push those lanes, then they can make plays where they can actually beat each other despite towards the like these things out. And these guys are playing patient game. You've seen it from them multiple times, almost every turn. This is how they play. This is their element to this stage.
Coming out, the end looking forced away. Nightmare, maybe they can take a go here. They could wipe it back up. They use Phantom South for no tail. They're thinking about fighting. It looks like S4 just going to steal, try to get the Nightmare stolen as the lead. Nicely done. In the meantime, storming bottom. And again, that patient play you're talking about, we've seen it so many times through site, how patient they can be when they're in these type of games. Just phenomenal yet again. But here we go, Roshan happening. S4 didn't want to get in. He does have Dark Rift, but he's got a lot of other controls as well. He's taking the pitch though from the impetus. Inside road, they've got the press running, jump in, direct, run onto the high ground. There's the Orchid, they need a bit more damage. Brain Zap will come. It looks like maybe not Silver, still stuck in the tree. The Sprout going, and now with him down, he can't make the initiation they would like to have. They'll take Aegis, they'll take Cheese. Now they've got something they need to do here, and that's try to take high ground.
Yeah, but the change is actually doing serious work here. She just did so much damage to them. Yeah, so that, this Roshan timing was quite fortunate. We have so many items that people up on the defeat side. Tomato goes to his radiance down. Cancel just picked up his Mjolnir pretty recently. All the items are starting to come along now.
So what was looking to be a pretty good couple minutes there for OG, they lose out Roche. Resolution is still split with the top. It's very difficult for them to stop this guy. Just doing a great job of getting up and down the map.
This game is so strong right now, right? But of course, Roshan is probably the best thing at pressuring these split pushing lineups, right? Once 2D Roshan, so can't really fight. But at the same time, you don't want to give it up for free, right? So we saw them all in the area, but they're unable to really contest it. This play from Scissor down bottom, this is something that probably goes unnoticed a lot of times, but he's placed the ward down bottom, sits here, camps it for about an hour, hoping someone comes out to feed. And all it takes is one of these plays, right? They can hit high ground.
Yeah, I was thinking he might do the same thing top lane. That's where Resolution's made his home. He said in the trees pretty recently. But as of right now, Resolution is just constantly keeping this wave pushing. It is insane. And now that they're still tier 2, they can't just say, screw it, we'll go bottom and push anyways, because when that happens, the trade inevitably happens for OG.
It's definitely a problem for them right now, getting this lane up, and perhaps maybe they're just going to force the issue bottom. We've got all 4 heroes running in, but of course CK is showing his face top lane now as well. Let's notice this perhaps back up. I mean, if they don't back up right now, the CK has a fantastic heart and he can destroy the battle.
Solutions already going to work. It's actually a problem. They're going to lose tier 3 damage before they even get any on the tier 3 bottom limiter feed. Alright. Good for OG. No tail is caught up. He's caught way up in fact. He's ahead of him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Panther Midas coming in later.
Orchid coming out together to see if Resolution finally can spot him. The Sword will spot him out, but sadly Cinder and the crew are not there to grab the kill. Yeah.
That situation just looks so unappealing to the interface. Their racks are being pressured slightly, even though it's only like 100 damage. Sorry, 250 damage. They can't get to the enemy racks at all. OG's base is so well defended by these three crews sitting above the high ground. How can you really dive into this? I mean, it's pretty difficult. You also have 2 force stats to disadvantage.
At this point, it just seems very difficult. They've got 1K network lead still. Meanwhile, Resolution Lancaster is broken, but they have no way of really stopping him from going here. I mean, he's fine, I think. He's just kind of holding on to the link just in case. So we'll stop Resolution in the meantime, but I don't know. It just looks, honestly, the more this game goes on, the more it looks like OG can easily take this win.
It feels like OG are outplaying on the map for like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Tough for me to repeat, for sure.
But they do have some big items. Viper's farming quite well. We talked about Viper's late game yesterday. The plus 20 armor talent, that is 25, is quite strong. And Necro, I mean, this guy's a monster in the late game as well.
Necro, pretty well range now. Alive, fine Viper. Viper's ready to go. He actually might keep him out and alive, and it does. It looks like. I think he just, if that last auto attack is hit, he'll go wrong place, keeping the Viper locked down, and I think he can do it. Trying good stuff. Resolution continues to push bottom in the meantime. He's kind of out and alone here. We'll see Jarak. Silence comes out, and this is here comes Resolution. They're looking for this fight. Hedging might be in trouble. They've got the magnetized. The Orchid will come through. They're going to back up now. They're looking for a Sprout. They can't find it now. Chances for it. They've got the Sprout. They need a Nightmare. It's the Beam Script instead, and that will get them the kill. Now Resolution's coming back, and this is the dangerous. He blinked aggressively. He used the Yule to try to get Jarek's out, but not enough. Meanwhile, bottom lane, though, they're going to find Cancel. That's going to be the Aegis, and they did everybody to get down here, but I don't think he's going to live. Fantastic back up. Cancel might force someone on the high ground. 4 seconds left. The other is back in. Going well. Notice her rather Caitlyn really fall. And even Kessu, he might be in trouble. He needs to be careful. They know that he's here. They're going to look forward to try to find his kill. Yeah, he might lose here. Resolution's coming in the end. Kessu's going to fuse much away. No Tail will find a double, and they're really starting to figure this out. OG starting to find themselves in this 36 minute game.
Just their experience is really coming into play here. We see these aggressive plays from Jerax. I mean, it looks like he's feeding, but he's not, right? This is the calculated aggressive play to create some space up there. He forces the rotations. They see Viper out down bottom thanks to that nice observer ward up on the high ground. And Unknown actually has a bunch of catch in this game with that 8.
Yeah, it's really great. Now he's played and guarding Greaves along with him. He'll go for Shiva's next, and they're starting to feel comfortable enough to go for this last tier 2 tower. There is a creep wave coming. Bitterfeud are set up with an instant on Bane. S4 is going to get a code. He doesn't yet have that dark red. He might want to use it. He's going to Greaves first. Make sure no one knows him. He's got the Mantis Style. He's jumping in backlights. Resolution going to work. They've got at least these there to work with. He will essentially keep him alive for now. He's the one with the gem. And they'll jump away. I don't know if they can go any further here because the dark red. And S4 is just going to get him out of dodge. There's just no way. That's just so quick. He's so tanky. Once he pops it, you're pretty much out of there. They're just found on first there with these heroes.
Did they see where they dark red I don't think they did.
No,
they
yeah. So that is a huge play. You dark red caught him, and all of a sudden you've got another chance here of pushing in. Maybe the tier 3 this time.
This team's understanding of the Underlord here is quite. You see all these balls and plays they've been making, even setting up for kills on the Furion like that down bottom. It just looks good. It feels like Bitterfeud are running to this wall, right? We saw them take 2 Roshans and not really be able to check high ground at all. Like all these tier 3 towers are full of HP, literally a single point of damage at all. And OG are they're playing with confidence here. They know how to play this. And it's very evident in how they move around the map in the mid game, which heroes are playing together. It looks good, Bob.
It does. I mean, we talked, like, I think like 20 minutes ago, it was looking a little frightening for Bitterfeud, and now that it's happened, it's looking interrupted. All starting with the kill, and no farm. He's got a Midas. He'll be like 10 minutes into the game. And now he's destroying. He's one of the top network heroes. Resolution its own. He's constantly split push top of the lane as well. At this point, they're in such a good position that they can think about going going for another fight here, even up on the high ground with Dark Rift there.
Yep. Even though later feeds heroes, they do scale well into the game. There's a Hex Spectre upon Keizu, so they have some more cash now. Even though their 5v5 is extremely strong, I mean, the pace of the game is not favoring them at all. OG are out-farming them, they have better wards, and they're just making better plays.
Sure. So we'll see how it goes for OG. They are doing everything they can to not only keep this game even, but secure themselves lead as they just have. 5K network lead after the last couple of engagements and pushes. He's out of there. The Koreans will scout out where JRX is moving to. Alright. So I guess it comes down to next roach. Better not fight. Richmond will come through. Won't get up the hill, but he will still die to hit. Nice little pick there, get to 48. This is right around the time when Roach would respawn. They're running it though. It's pretty close up. They're going to have the Sonic Wave. He might die here. Resolution. They've got the stun. 3 seconds in their motto. He's in trouble. He gets blown away. No chance for a Ghost Rod. He'll fall. The next is going to be heading on top of it. Double kill for No Tail. This might be enough for them to start pushing pretty heavily. Triple kill. He's going to find an Ultra. No Tail and Phantasm going to work and absolutely destroying there.
Oh my god. Alright, so Mott, having some illusion problems there, alright? Radiance is online, the Omen's online, but still these illusions have 4,000 HP.
Jesus. Definitely a problem. It is a serious problem. You can have a check for next one. His Manta style was off the left. Sorry, not on the team. Maybe I was kind of illusion. That's what it looked like. It did look like he had a lot of He is zoning it. And here we go. They're going to push high ground. We might see some buybacks for it. Phantasm down for 80 seconds. Careful. Real ripped out Weehawk. The dive comes through the resolution. He wants to kill. I don't know if he's going to find it. But Mal's coming in. They're being very aggressive as they can with the Dark Rift. And cancel. He's in trouble. Gets forced away. They've got the Atos. He's still about to fall, and he will. No Tail's got like Weehawk might be next. The Fuser coming in again. Jump in. Scream of pain. 4 dead yet again. And with no buyback and cancel, this is looking almost impossible here. Wow, what a turnaround from OG, Brad.
What a turnaround indeed, but that's the story of this whole game, it feels like. Middlefield off to the supposed early game taking off the kill was quite early, but then transition after that was quite often. It's not mostly, I would say it's mostly due to early good play, right, and the way they utilized the heroes, but this game is still not over yet.
Might be enough. He's in trouble. They've got the Phantom on himself. They'll drop the Pentaval Sonic Wave onto 2. They'll find one. They'll find the second Shimano. Ghost Rod, no. He'll stay alive, but Kendu, Frostbitten as well as Freezing Steel. He'll drop down. He's dead. Shimano's still trying to fight the Primal Run. Jumping in. Good. Push back Sterax. They'll find the Frostbitten as well. Silence is there. Double kill for Red Zone. Weehaw, and that is it. GG. Game 1 going the way of OG after a 42-minute comeback.
Yep, OG, a little trouble shaking their late game, but of course, late game, in the mid game, this is what they drive. This is why they are one of the